Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Morning, 10:01. We have 81 degrees. It's going to be hot and humid with a chance of storms late today. Some could be severe. Looking for a high of 91. That heat index up to maybe 100. Overnight low tonight 71. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. The Republican National Convention begins today in Milwaukee. We have the convention covered for you, but first some breaking news. Judge Eileen Cannon has dismissed the classified documents case against former President Donald Trump. ABC's Aaron Kotursky has that developing story.
The judge fully agreed with former President Trump's defense attorneys that the appointment of special counsel Jack Smith by Attorney General Merrick Garland was unconstitutional. They said only Congress should be allowed to authorize the appointment of someone of Smith's stature, and only Congress is allowed to authorize the funding for an investigation.
We'll keep you updated on the latest developments on that story. The Republican National Convention is the story here in Milwaukee today. Protesters are making final preparations to march around the convention site.
At Red Arrow Park, hundreds of protesters are getting ready to hit the parade route organized by the coalition to march on the RNC. Some of the most common groups here include advocates for abortion access, those supporting labor unions, and critics of Israel. The march will be getting underway at 10 a.m. and going right next to Pfizer Forum. At Red Arrow Park in downtown Milwaukee, Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Protesters here from all over the country and police officers as well. 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris tells Wisconsin's Midday News local protesters will only see local officers.
But they're never going to have you be somewhere where New York cops coming in for the RNC are going to interact with neighborhood people because they don't understand the nuances, the politics, the interaction. You know, you might see somebody in the crowd, you may be able to quell it.
Activists hoping to call attention to issues such as abortion rights, economic justice, and the war in Gaza. Largest group is the Coalition to March on the RNC. They plan to kick off the demonstrations about a block from Pfizer Forum. Group's been at odds with the city and law enforcement over a protest route. Late last week, they said they reached a handshake agreement with city officials. A few headaches for drivers trying to get through security checkpoints downtown.
After receiving word of a 40-minute delay going through the security checkpoints at 3:30 in the morning this Monday, it became evident commuting is going to be something. The checkpoints have folks opening trunks, hoods, and shutting down engines, mirrors being used to check the underbody, and K9 units doing a quick sniff. For future reference, padding your commute by about an hour would be the best strategy, or parking outside the zone and walking in. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
Checkpoints are hard enough to get through, even harder when drivers aren't paying attention, as we hear from WTMJ's John Mercure.
A moment of chaos here. I'm at the checkpoint. The dog just hopped up in the back of my SUV, kind of freaked me out, sniffed around inside the vehicle. The mirror guy has just walked by. The mirrors are done underneath my car. Behind me, I heard a big bang, and a big black SUV smashed into the barricade behind me, and Homeland Security and Secret Service freaked out. Looks like his truck may be damaged. They've now stopped me temporarily as they try to figure out what the heck happened.
The bottom line, pay attention. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 275 points. S&P 500 is up 44. The NASDAQ Composite is up 202. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:05.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts next weekend. For 3 days only, next Friday through Sunday, get 20% off. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts next Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This
This is Brad Youngbooth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. We have two big humps in this business, right before summer and right after fall. And for us, that's when the lines are the longest. Folks usually choose to do their exterior work during those times, and what I'm trying to do here with this message is level out the flow of business so that we don't have to disappoint anyone come November and December because they were hoping to get their work done before the snow flies. I understand where the focus is during summer, but you know what? It really is a great time to get signed up for your exterior work, like siding and windows, because that's when the lines are the shortest, and it's the one time that we're pretty sure we're not going to get any snow. So if you're looking to get your work done, why put it off? The lines are shorter and we'll be ready. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, call Semper Fi, because you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers have entered the All-Star break with some positive momentum after salvaging their series against the Nationals. Willie Adames blasted a 2-run homer and finished with 4 RBIs in Milwaukee's 9-3 over the Nationals from American Family Field. Brew Crew still first in the NL Central at 55-42. Bucks got blown out by the Cavaliers 112-81 in the NBA Summer League from Las Vegas. Bucks hit the hardwood again tomorrow night against the Clippers. Taking a look at your roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Biggest problems are getting into and out of downtown, of course, because of that perimeter and those security checkpoints around downtown. So if you can avoid that area, if you're commuting from home today, you're advised to keep doing that and stay out of the downtown area. No major problems on the highways this hour. A little bit of slow and go I-894 westbound, the Mitchell interchange to the Hale interchange.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Hot and humid today. Late storms possible, a high 91. That heat index up to maybe 100. Some of those storms tonight could be severe, a low of 71. Cooler tomorrow. Humidity starts to drop, partly cloudy with a high of 82. Wednesday, a little bit cooler again, lower humidity, sunny, 78. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high 75. And Friday, mostly sunny with a high of 79. Taking a look at temperatures right now, Madison 79, Green Bay 81, Milwaukee 81. I'm Connie Weber, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 10:09.
This is WTMJ at the Republican National Convention. Now broadcasting live from Media Row at the Panther Arena inside the RNC. This is The Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. Here is your host, Jeff Sherman.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee. The RNC and MKE. The hashtag to follow on social. Hashtag WTMJ at, the word at, ATRNC. Follow whatever platform you're using. You can see all of our coverage. Organizers have contracted 107 hotels within a 75-mile radius of downtown, as far west as Madison, and all the way north to Kohler. 4,000 dorm rooms at area colleges have been secured for mainly outside law enforcement officers. I walked in from where I parked with several of them this morning. Obviously heightened concern given Saturday's attempt on the former president's life and the sad incidents in Pennsylvania. $200 million, still the estimated economic impact number being floated, direct, indirect, and induced spending in the Milwaukee area. We'll dive into all of this week in the show. Induced spending, by the way, because I know you're asking, is all the wages paid to the workers as a result of the heightened business activity from the convention, which are then reinvested into the community. There are 400 buses, shuttles, and golf carts here needed to get transportation to guests, not only from venue to venue, but from destinations outside of the security footprint. The nonprofit, nonpartisan MKE 2024 host committee has said that it has raised more than $85 million, a figure well over its $60 $8 million expectation. Exact details of the host committee's fundraising and expenditures will be released after the event. Today, we are here on the Upswing to shine a light on the impact, the opportunities, and some of the challenges at the RNC here in Wisconsin and Milwaukee. This is the Upswing. Every day, we're joined by Josh Albrecht, who is the Chief Marketing Officer at Visit Milwaukee. Visit Milwaukee's members from across the area are involved and invested in the area and obviously in this event. And of course, Visit is working hard to leverage the RNC into new ongoing opportunities for additional convention business, new meeting business, and to spur tourism for the years to come. With media from across the globe here in our hometown, Visit Milwaukee is also charged with maximizing the impact of the stories. Speaking of, Josh, I heard we expected 15,000 media members, but that number has increased, right?
Yeah, and not just increased, but it definitely has doubled. The expectation is 30,000 credentialed media in our city over the course of this week, many of which I've been having the opportunity to talk to the last few days. They've been in town since last week. That's a huge number, 30,000 credentialed media.
Wow. All right. Later in the show, we're going to talk to Lakefront Brewery. We're going to talk to Delta Defense and the Wisconsin anti-violence effort. A lot of policy meetings, a lot of conversations happening with business owners across the area. That's what we do. Conversations at the intersection of life, business, and community. Josh, just general impressions, other than obviously going from 15,000 to 30,000 media members. What else are you hearing on the streets today?
Well, on the streets today, obviously, traffic downtown is the topic of du jour. Yeah, so, certainly the security lines, we were expecting that. If you are driving into the security zone, we definitely encourage you to take extra time or find alternate routes. Obviously, whether it's the HOP or public transportation systems with our public buses, maybe just walking in using rideshare apps. That's highly recommended right now. It's just going to be so much easier for you and those you're with. But other than that, the atmosphere on the ground is it's very jovial. People are happy. They're talking. Everybody just seems in a great mood and sort of that anticipatory feeling of the week. And locals that I talk to are just so excited. Just seeing the amount of people downtown. You see the tourists everywhere, right? They're taking photos of buildings, everywhere you look. They're really enjoying the city, and that sort of is just going to just build over the week with that anticipation into full-blown jubilation.
Yeah. How was your process getting in from the North Shore this morning to downtown?
I came down Lake Drive, and I was like, this is the fastest lake drive I've ever experienced in my life. Beautiful, cruised right in, and even Michigan, turned on to Michigan, and it was pretty smooth sailing until you got about to the Green Exchange, and then it was a dead stop there with the security perimeter. So if you're moving around, I mean, honestly, and I said this even going up to the event, if you're moving around the city like normal and you're not in the downtown core, it's probably pretty easy to get around still, pretty much like normal. It's really only that security perimeter area that really changes things.
All right, very good. When we come back from the break, I want to talk about what your member businesses are expecting this week. I think there's kind of a nervous excitement, but there's a really good energy. Then we're going to kind of dive into how Visit Milwaukee is going to maximize and leverage the media exposure, all the eyeballs on Milwaukee this week at the RNC. This is the Upswing live from the RNC.
It's like playing baseball in the house.
Mom, Dad broke the window.
Without the risk of...
Again.
That. Every Thursday at 8:40, play virtual baseball on Wisconsin's Morning News. Step up to the virtual plate and test your mettle against the best.
Swing and a drive to right.
It's virtual baseball, presented by Signing Unlimited. Only played here on WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage. I get that most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting pre-approved. But that's probably a mistake, because banks have a lot of overhead, like branches, fancy headquarters, and layers of management. That means their closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 higher than AccuNet's for exactly the same rate. And that's not all. Bank pre-approval letters are usually weak and unconvincing, especially compared to AccuNet's rock-solid, fully verified pre-approval that provides a $2,000 guarantee to you and the seller. Our senior loan consultants will also look at every possible way to strengthen your offer and pre-approval in the eyes of that seller, especially if you're offering over the asking price. We even call the listing agent to reinforce what a great buyer you are. Banks don't do all that. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and let our passionate mortgage pros help you win while you save a bunch of money, too. That's ACCUNET.com.
Buying a home should be a joy, but could you imagine doing this without a realtor? Paperwork, inspections, appraisals, deadlines, showings, market research? Or you could relax. Or understanding legal documents, negotiating offers, coordinating inspections, securing finance. Oh, sorry. A realtor can take the stress out of the home buying process. See how at wra.org/a-realtor-can. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Realtors Association.
Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
One of the biggest staples of the summer is back. It's Cream Puff-a-Palooza. This is the best way to get your cream puff fix ahead of the Wisconsin State Fair, and you don't even have to wait until the end of the month. Register now for your free 4-pack of cream puffs right now on WTMJ.com, or text cream puff to the WTMJ talk and text line at 855-616-1620. Get there fast, because once we hit our limit, we're done, so make sure you get registered. It's Cream Puff-a-Palooza, which happens only here on WTMJ, the RNC, NMKE. Here we are. Josh, how are you? You had a lot of media check-in over the weekend. How is Visit Milwaukee working specifically with the media members? I'm guessing they got a lot of questions about the city, right?
Oh, yeah, lots of questions. Very eager to learn about the city, explore our museums. Over the weekend, some of the top things being asked about were the Harley-Davidson Museum, the Art Museum, and, of course, our breweries. Everybody wanted to know where the closest brewery was. So they're definitely interested, and taking advantage of the media being here is such an important thing for us in the city. It's how we're going to get so much coverage throughout the world about the beautiful aspects of the city and of the states.
Yeah.
And because some of these media that I talked to, they're staying in the suburbs as well. Some of them were staying as far away that I talked to yesterday in Lake Geneva. So they're getting to see some of the state as well as the city, and that's really a great way to highlight all the cool things we have to go. And then they're going to talk about the RNC this week, but later they're going to talk about, hey, you should go to Milwaukee.
Yeah. And how does that process work in terms of getting out the story ideas and making the connections? Give us kind of some insight and some insider baseball into that.
Yeah, we've actually been working on it since the RNC was announced coming. So it's been a multi-year process where we're doing proactive media pitching to those outlets leading up to this. We've seen them at conferences throughout the year. And then, of course, we've got our media lists that we'll be doing follow-up with. We prepared a full online database of new stories, places to go, information about the convention, just general information about the growth of the city. And so we've worked with not just the local host committee of the RNC, we're working with the City of Milwaukee, all of our community partners in creating these media packets that tell the full story of the city, not just about the convention this week. And so it's that pitching. And what we've seen, and you guys, I know you've covered it several times the last few weeks, things like top 5 beach towns in the world, right? Yeah. We have that story. We had one of the most beautiful skylines story recently come out. These stories are happening in part because of the RNC, because we've been pushing more of our storylines and our benefits to the media over the last 2 years. We're more top of mind, and when you're top of mind, you get on these amazing lists.
Yeah. Well, and what do you hope to kind of learn from some of the past convention cities? I'm sure you've talked to, like in 2008, St. Paul, 2012, Tampa, 2016, Cleveland, and then most recently, Charlotte. How do you work with kind of your member cities to leverage ideas?
Yeah, Cleveland specifically has been an amazing resource for us. They've been extremely helpful. Their comms team, their whole senior leadership team, they've been great at sort of lining up things that they learned and lessons they learned around the way. I mean, the biggest thing, and you mentioned it earlier, is this is not just about right now. It's about the future. And Cleveland specifically, has gotten the NBA All-Star Game. They've gotten many other big, high-profile events because the RNC was hosted. And so we're sort of doing that same playbook right now. We're going to take the momentum, apply it to all of our convention and sports tournament recruitment, and we expect to see big events now moving forward in the city.
All right, some of the big events are happening at places all around town. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk to Rush Klisch, who is the president of Lakefront Brewery. Some big events happening on Commerce Street. Josh and I will talk to Russ coming back from the break. This is the Upswing live at the RNC.
Hot dog, get your hot dogs here. Hot and fresh hot dogs.
Hot diggity dog, it's baseball season. Wisconsin's Afternoon News has partnered up with Vienna Beef to bring you Brewers Ticket Tuesday.
Tune in every Tuesday during the 3 o'clock hour for your chance to win a pair of tickets for an upcoming Tuesday home game for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Nothing says summer like a hot dog in baseball, and we've got both on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
On the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Hi, this is WTMJ's Jeff Sherman with a few words about my friends at Horicon Bank. For more than 125 years, Horicon Bank has built a foundation of beneficial relationships with their customers. Now serving the greater Milwaukee area with branches in Wauwatosa, that's my hometown, New Berlin, Menominee Falls, and Grafton. Horicon Bank is eternally linked to the growth and prosperity of the families and businesses in our community. Together, doing good. That's Horicon Bank's vision for all of your commercial and business banking needs. Horicon Bank truly is the natural choice. Member FDIC.
Join an unforgettable weekend of summer fun when the Brewers play the Marlins July 26th through the 28th. Be here for Yacht Rock Night on Friday and a Hawaiian shirt giveaway Saturday. Get your seats at brewers.com.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
Solving your breathing triangle problem can lead to better sleep and a better quality of life. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment. Because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Dan, did you know the average person spends 17 minutes a day looking for clothes in their closet?
Seriously? Just looking for clothes?
That's almost 5 days a year. It's why I love what we do, giving people time back in their day and calming the chaos.
I agree, Katie. At Inspired Closets, our 3D design software allows us to build a closet of our clients' dreams.
Inspired Closets gives you your time back.
And a lifetime warranty. Call us today or visit us at inspiredclosetsmilwaukee.com.
A wife and husband team.
Welcome back to the Upswing live at the RNC here in beautiful downtown Milwaukee, the heart of the state of Wisconsin. Joined today by Josh Albrecht, who is the Chief Marketing Officer, at Visit Milwaukee. On the phone on the Tri-County Contracting Hotline is Rush Klisch, who is the president of Lakefront Brewery. Russ, how are you this morning?
Doing good. Thanks for having me on, Jeff.
Yeah, sure. No problem. So Lakefront Brewery, right on Commerce Street. Pretty easy to get to from where we're at. You're open, as usual, today from 11 to 9 p.m. and on Friday. But you're going to be closed Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for private RNC events, correct?
Yes. Yeah, we have 5 different events happening those 3 days.
Okay, so just kind of talk us through the process, Russ, in terms of the last several months and how you've been working with different groups to get your space ready to welcome people from across the world.
Yeah, well, it basically started back in December. when the RNC events committee started bringing through different state delegations and other delegations that came here. They took a look at the space. They probably had about 15 site tours, and 5 chose us to be their place.
All right. Well, can you give us some insight as to the groups you're hosting?
Well, RNC published Washington State. I'd rather not say the other ones for security reasons and the times, but just let you know that I guess to me the important thing is that they are coming here. They're spending some money. We're going to have a good week because of this, and so we're looking forward to hosting them. We went and had once we got them signed up. We went and discussed what food, we're going to have here, how the party's going to be, and so we're all set.
All right. So as one of the first and foremost leaders in the craft beer scene in Greater Milwaukee, what do you hope that the delegations kind of take away from their experience here in Milwaukee? What do you want to teach them about beer, Russ?
Well, to me, this convention is going to give us the opportunity to show off our town and to the U.S. and to the world from the press and everybody else that's been here. Milwaukee's seriously been building our infrastructure for over 30 years. I mean, I probably have a list of 20 or 15 things you can go by and say that we've done to improve it. And we're really taking our hospitality seriously in this town and want to try to make it kind of like the Nashville of the North here. And when you have this convention come in, this is going to give us the opportunity to show what we've all done.
All right. So how have the expansion efforts over at your place taken part? I mean, it looks beautiful right off of Commerce Street there. Talk about kind of the state of the business at Lakefront for us.
Yeah, our hospitality business is doing nice. We did last year expand the Riverwalk with an outside viewing deck, along with real bathrooms and a beer hut, little beer garden. So it all looks great out there right now, and I'm sure that was one of the things that the state delegations were looking at when they came here. So to me, this is just the start with the RNC, but I'm hoping with the great Baird Center that we have right now, it's a world-class facility. We'll be getting a lot more other conventions coming in here, and this will be the start of some great things to come.
Josh Albrecht from Visit Milwaukee joins us, Russ. And Josh, you said you had a lot of media members asking specifically, where are the local breweries?
Yes, definitely. From all over the world. I had a group of guys from Australia asking, where do I go? Which breweries? And so, yeah, it's definitely a highlight for the city, and it's always a calling card for us throughout the year.
Yeah. So, Russ, what in terms of menu items, what are people specifically asking for?
It was interesting. We had the Milwaukee plate that we had, and it's beer brats, cheese curds, kielbasa and kraut, pretzels, mac and cheese, and also Kringle for dessert. So they're getting a good local sample of what's all coming here.
Oh, that's perfect. That is right on point for sure. And in terms of staffing, how have you had to staff up, and have you needed to kind of call in additional resources?
Our staff should be able to handle it. We basically had it blocked off. We didn't want anybody taking vacations this week for the RNC, so we should be able to handle it. We're not bringing anybody else in new, so we have a good staff here, and hopefully, everything will run smooth. And we're looking forward to the events.
All right, very good. Russ Klisch is the president of Lakefront Brewery. Russ, have a wonderful RNC week, and all the best in all of your events, and we'll see you there soon.
Sure. Thank you. Yep. Hope to see you. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Russ. Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 10:30. ABC News and local headlines are coming up next, and then we'll be joined by the Managing Director of Government Affairs for Delta Defense, one of the key sponsors here at the convention. This is the Upswing, presented by
This is a
Horicon
special
Bank.
report from ABC News. Republican National Convention. I'm Sherry Preston. 2 days after an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, the judge overseeing his classified documents case has tossed it out, saying she agrees with Trump's defense team that special counsel Jack Smith was illegally appointed.
The 40 counts that Donald Trump was facing, this was for the mishandling of classified documents and obstructing the government's investigation, 40 counts there in Florida. He no longer faces, totally dropped.
ABC's Catherine Faulders at the convention in Milwaukee.
What this means is the case is over. This also means his co-defendants won't face any charges. His valet, well, now that the property manager of Mar-a-Lago, Carlos de Oliveira, also facing charges for allegedly obstructing the government's investigation. That's gone too.
We are expecting to find out today who Donald Trump's running mate will be. The announcement expected at the RNC in Milwaukee as a full investigation into the assassination attempt gets underway. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 1031, the RNC security top of mind, even more so since the shooting at a Trump rally over the weekend. That assassination attempt, of course, killing one, wounding the former president. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson reiterates state law prohibits extra gun restrictions in the soft security zone.
State law supersedes local ordinances, so we couldn't even pass anything that would prohibit the use or the access, rather, of those guns in this soft security perimeter that we have in the city of Milwaukee. So would I like to see that? Yes. But unfortunately, state law has supremacy here in Wisconsin.
Convention delegates and Milwaukee residents contending with heat and humidity during the first day of the RNC, followed by another round of possible severe weather. An initial line of storms will weaken ahead of southeast Wisconsin around midday, but more storms this evening could carry strong winds and hail. RNC unofficially kicked off last night at the Summerfest grounds, where the invite-only Red, White, and Brew welcome party was held. Secret Service handled security for the party. The Hone Bridge was shut down, but it has reopened. Time for some news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow up 255 points at 40,258. S&P 500 is up 41 at 5,656. And the Nasdaq Composite up 197 at 18,595. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. The downtown area, of course, going to be busy and congested due to the convention traffic, so avoid that if you are able to. Don't come downtown unless it's absolutely necessary. I-894 westbound, the Mitchell interchange to the Hale interchange, a little bit of slow and go in that area. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, hot and humid today. Those storms possible late today, a high of 91, heat index up to 100. Some of those storms could be severe tonight with a low of 71. Cooler, lower humidity tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 78, or Tuesday, I should say. Mostly sunny on Wednesday, high 78. Thursday, mostly sunny, 75. Friday, sunny and 79. Taking a look around the state right now, Madison 79, Green Bay 81, Milwaukee 81 degrees. I'm Connie Weber, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 1033.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperfiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi.
Ask about our finance options.
Brake issues, electrical issues, four-wheel drive issues, exhaust issues, and even my car just won't start issues.
You name it, we fixed it.
So the next time you're due for service, drive it on into Richlands and let our ASE certified technicians get you fixed up and safely back on the road.
Nothing warms my heart more than seeing our customers drive out of here with big old smiles on their faces. And all the credit goes to our staff. The most friendly, honest, hardworking, knowledgeable people in the business.
5 conveniently located facilities, all AAA approved.
And all staffed by ASE certified technicians, ready to provide you with top-notch service.
And after your vehicle's been serviced, drop us a Google review and let us know how we did.
Because a Google review from you goes a long way. I'm Rhett Matchke with Rich Lawns, your due for service.
Rich Lawns Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Rich Lawns.
Welcome back to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, live at the RNC. Katie Pointer-Bainey is the Managing Director of Government Affairs for Delta Defense. Joins us today. Katie, thanks for taking time out of your day. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Delta is headquartered in beautiful West Bend, Wisconsin. They've partnered with the nonpartisan MKE 2024 host committee on a major sponsorship agreement for the RNC. Delta Defense is also one of America's fastest growing companies, named by Inc. magazine in 2023. 650 employees in West Bend, last year named a top 100 most loved workplace. So kudos on that. Katie, from a workplace Wisconsin lens, just talk about kind of what contributes to the organizational culture at Delta.
Yeah. Delta Defense is really excited to be here on the ground at RNC Convention this week. We felt it was important as a major employer in the area, as part of the broader Milwaukee business community. We felt it was really important to be here, to be on the ground this week, hopefully chatting with folks about situational awareness, personal responsibility, keeping folks safe. I have worked at Delta now, it'll be 3 years in August, and it is an incredibly unique place to work. I would think, you know, it's one of the differentiators is how we really walk the talk. We have values, core values that are posted on our headquarters all throughout our building. We live by them. We breathe by them. We're also all engaged in a greater mission, which is to save lives. And that really, I think, is uniting for our employee base. We have incredible leadership in our co-founders and co-owners, Tim and Tawny Schmidt, and Mike Lowney, our president. And so it's really a special place to work.
Yeah, great. So as I've talked to kind of local businesses, restaurants, business owners around the downtown area, obviously there's some increased concerns about concealed carry and the presence of guns with the convention. You know, just how do you address those concerns to kind of your local community?
I would say that the data is very clear, and facts show us that more responsibly armed Americans, more concealed carry permit holders in an area, in a community, actually makes the community safer. And that is, at the end of the day, criminals, by definition, don't follow the law. So whether or not you have gun control laws in place or not, that really is irrelevant, because if you have someone with evil intentions looking to do harm, they will do so, irrespective of the gun laws put in place. So I would encourage business owners in the area to embrace it and say, listen, if there are more concealed carry holders in the area, we obviously are in a hard security perimeter right now where there are no firearms or, even canned goods or anything is really allowed through the perimeter. Outside is a different story. But at the end of the day, the USCCA is all about personal responsibility and equipping everyday gun owners to be their own first responder, to protect themselves, to protect their families. That's not anything to be afraid of if you're a business owner in downtown Milwaukee.
All right, very good. Katie Pointer-Bainey is the Managing Director of Government Affairs at Delta Defense. We're going to go to break, and we'll come back with more. This is The Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank.
You're never going to believe it.
Why would I not believe it?
John Hoyman has a big idea. Big.
John, our Chief Financial Officer?
Hi, Rick. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Monica.
Hi, John.
Hey, John.
Are we in trouble?
No. Everything is great.
Tell them your idea.
18-month special financing for all purchases made in July.
Subject to approved credit, right?
Of course, just ask an associate for details.
That's 1.5 years to pay. Can we do that?
We're an employee-owned company. We can do anything we want.
Sarah, are you nervous we can't afford it?
Sarah, this is John, our CFO. If John says we can afford it, we can afford it.
Do you like the idea of 18-month special financing?
I like it.
I like it.
But only for purchases made in July, right?
Right.
I like it.
18-month special financing for all purchases made in July. only at Kessler's. For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Shaft in Hartford is hiring servers, bartenders, and pizza cooks. A great summer job for high school and college students. You'll make great cash. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today, start next week. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
Amish outdoor furniture with poly and wood available. And that poly is the richest of outdoor furniture. It's just about indestructible and will virtually last forever. At Erickson's, we have poly furniture in abundance, so you're guaranteed to see a great selection. The beauty of it is you can put it outside all year round and not worry about it, because the color runs all the way through, so it doesn't fade, and minor nicks and scratches won't hurt the look. Erickson's Landscape Supply. For an abundant selection of poly and wood Amish outdoor furniture, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. You'll be hard-pressed to find a better selection of metal yard art than we have here at Erickson's. Anything from natural and painted metal signs to painted roosters from 1 to 6 feet tall. Natural steel flying ducks and cattails. Cute little frogs, geckos, pigs, flamingos, and goats. And palm trees. The list is endless. And that's why you come here. Erickson's Landscape Supply, right on Spring Street in Union Grove, where you'll find a fantastic array of artisanal metal yard art. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Or better yet, drive on over and take a gander at the goods.
The Wisconsin State Fair is almost here. Are you ready for it? Snag your discounted admission tickets and more by July 26th. Don't forget your fair favorites like bargain books, cream puffs, Spin City Ride and game tickets, and the Wonder Fair wheel. Time's running out faster than a racing pig, so start planning your day. Feel good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, August 1st through 11th.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Since 1955, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Hey, don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget. They'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Welcome back to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, live at the RNC, joined by Katie Pointer-Baney. She is the Managing Director of Government Affairs at Delta Defense. Katie, in terms of your sponsorship here at the RNC, what are you hoping to accomplish with the presence here this week?
Delta Defense is the service provider for the USCCA, the United States Concealed Carry Association. We are going to have our trainers and staff on site here throughout Convention Week hosting safety information stations. And really our goal here, Jeff, is to have conversations with attendees, with media, with the delegates about situational awareness, that personal safety ultimately starts with you, that the government is not going to protect you, and that you want to be an asset here for law enforcement on the ground. And so that really starts with being situationally aware. So we hope to kind of chat with folks on the ground, provide top tips and tools when they're traveling to and from their hotel, when they're getting out of cars and Ubers, when they're going to dinner, about really just equipping them on how they can be their own first responder and what to be aware of and look for.
Okay. And then, so from the response from local business owners that say, hey, we need stricter gun control measures, what's your answer to that question?
Yeah, I would caution them that that's not the answer. That is a fallacy and a trap to think that you're going to be safer if you put a law on the books. Criminals, by definition, do not follow the law, and they are going to carry out evil acts whether or not there are gun control laws on the books. And we have seen this time and time again, whether it's in states or cities, the data is very clear. Some of the most highest rates of violent crime are in urban areas. Take Chicago, for instance. Illinois has some of the strictest gun control laws on the books. It does not prevent violent crime from happening. If we want to have an honest conversation about violent crime, then we need to broaden the spectrum. We need to talk about the root illnesses of violent crime. That's with a firearm or not. We need to talk about poverty and education and homelessness. I mean, it is a broad spectrum of issues that are impacting violence, and ultimately it's not just the tool. It's not just the firearm. That's really the easy button, I think, that trips people into thinking that they're safe.
So what are some of the initiatives and collaborations between your company and law enforcement that promote more responsible gun ownership?
We work with sheriffs and police associations from all over the country. The USCCA has our members all over the country. We are 850,000 strong. We have over 10,000 certified instructors all across the country that are teaching home defense fundamentals and defensive pistol shooting and just, again, how to be safe. So we have great partnerships all across the country with law enforcement at city, local, and county, as well as state levels. I think a lot of sheriffs, police officers recognize that we need more good guys out there. These are allies for law enforcement. We employ many veterans. We employ many former law enforcement. They are our, instructors and trainers, really have that hands-on experience.
All right, and you're staying where today? From West Bend, you're right at the Hilton, right?
I'm staying at the Hilton, but our staff will be all around downtown at Convention Fest, again at those safety information stations, hoping to chat with folks about situational awareness.
Very good. And where do you hope to get around greater downtown for the rest of the week?
I'm excited to go down into the 3rd Ward and have some great dinners. I'll be over at the Pfister, Collectivo Coffee. I'm definitely going to hit up in the 3rd Ward.
Right.
It's always great to be in downtown Milwaukee.
Very good. All right. Katie Pointer-Bainey is the Managing Director for Government Affairs at Delta Defense. Thanks for taking time out of your day to join us. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff, for having me.
Sure. This is The Upswing presented by Horicon Bank. We'll be right back after this break.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Grandpa was long retired from working in the Rapids paper mill when I finished law school.
Dan Krause, Army veteran and owner of Krause Estate Planning and Elder Law Center.
Grandpa and Grandma asked me to help them get their wills set up. They worried about losing the homestead if they needed nursing care. This was my first experience with estate planning. I just loved it. During the years that I spent in the Army Reserves as a JAG attorney, I was building a small estate planning law firm. After retiring from 21 years in the Army, I've been growing the firm with 3 offices now to help more seniors like my grandparents. At Krause Estate Planning, our entire team loves helping seniors. It's a requirement in our recruiting process. We do help people of all ages, but we hope all of our clients will become seniors one day.
Krause Estate Planning and Elder Law Center in Brookfield, Madison, and Oregon. A veteran-owned law firm.
Krause Estate Planning and Elder Law Center.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Our video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit NoTimeToWait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
I'm Dave Sager. I'm the chairman of Bethlehem Evangelical Lutheran Church and School. In 1998, we made a decision to buy some property in Germantown. It was always the mindset. Someday we would build a church on that property. Horicon Bank bent over backwards for us repeatedly. I can't tell you how many times I reached out to Michelle on a Saturday, on a Sunday. Can you help me out? And it would not be possible without Horicon Bank and Catalyst Construction. Just amazing individuals, and it's all family.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing live at the RNC, presented by Horicon Bank. That's the Upswing. Today we're here to shine a light on the impact, the opportunities, some of the challenges that the RNC brings to Wisconsin and Milwaukee. That's what we do on this show, conversations at the intersection of life, business, and community. As I've, the last several days, gone around greater downtown Milwaukee, talked to business owners, talked to people preparing for the convention, there's a lot of anticipation for sure. I think there's some nervous anticipation, and obviously after Saturday's events in Pennsylvania, I think there is, just a feeling of, whoa, there's more concealed carry in greater downtown. What could that mean? So I appreciate Delta Defense joining us and talking about that issue. And next, Nick Matuszewski is the Director of Policy and Program for the Wisconsin Anti-Violence Effort, which advocates for gun violence prevention. Nick, thanks for taking time to join the Upswing.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
So what does WAVE's approach to kind of obviously a politically sensitive topic of gun violence, what way are you hoping to engage with a bunch of diverse stakeholders? I know you were out and about in communities all weekend.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So WAVE is a nonpartisan organization. We're trying to work with folks across both sides of the aisle. Our approach is really to educate the public and to educate policymakers on why it is so important and necessary that we have policies in place that reduce gun violence. This is an issue that kills over 700 Wisconsinites every year. And we know that it impacts far more than that, whether it's people that are injured by gun violence or families that lose loved ones. So, we like to host events, speak with people in their communities, meet people where they're at, and just talk about how this is an issue that we do know the solutions to. We just have to have folks in office with the political courage and will to get these policies passed.
And what were you hearing from voters and people that you were talking to this weekend?
Even before Saturday, long before Saturday, we've heard a lot of concern from folks across the city and really even across the state about, the impact that having the RNC here could have on the city. We all know that this country is in a very heated moment, and there's the potential for political violence. And everyone's worried about the fact that there are guns allowed in the security perimeter around the RNC. That concern has increased tenfold since Saturday. We're in a really precarious situation here in this country, and guns are making this a lot more dangerous, and it's not helping democracy, it's harming democracy.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of like a true middle ground solution to fair and safe gun laws, what is your organization advocating for?
Sure. We are pushing for a number of policies that are supported by 80%, 90% of Americans across the board. One that is supported by over 90% of Americans, a large percentage of Republicans, a large percentage of Democrats, is universal background checks. This would ensure that every gun sale that occurs in the state of Wisconsin is required to go through a background check. It would get rid of any loopholes that currently exist that require, or that mean that, if you go to a gun show, for instance, where you buy your firearm off the internet or you get it from a friend, that you can forgo a background check. We want to ensure that all of those sales include background checks. Another policy we're pushing for is an extreme risk law, which is also known as red flag laws. This would ensure that if someone is a threat to themselves or others, their family, or maybe law enforcement or someone else in a position of authority could go to a civil court and start a procedure to ask that person's firearms be temporarily removed. This wouldn't be a criminal charge. It's not something that would go on their personal record. It's just for their own safety and for the safety of others. That's a policy that's been shown to greatly reduce suicide, which is the number one cause of gun-related deaths is through suicide.
Yeah, and as you stated, according to a 2022 Marquette Law School poll, 8 out of every 10 Wisconsinites support the creation of universal background checks and red flag laws. So what do you hope kind of comes out of the RNC in terms of policy, and what can your group and other groups do to find kind of, quote, middle ground in the discussion?
The unfortunate thing is that the Republican Party has for a while now refused to take any positive steps on this issue. We're going to continue to work across the aisle, as I mentioned. We're going to continue to meet with members of the Wisconsin RNC. We're going to try to demonstrate that this has broad political support. But if you look at the Republican Party's platform, there's really no mention of firearms in there. And most campaigners have been campaigning around the idea of ensuring that there won't be any firearm policies passed, or at least not anything that is helpful. The Republican Party in Wisconsin just this year has pushed for allowing teachers to be armed in schools, allowing for prohibitions on basically any common sense prohibition on firearms to be removed. They're not working in a direction that would save Wisconsinites. They're working in a direction that's going to, they think, garner them some votes, and that's really all that they seem to be concerned about in large part.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nick, for joining us today, the Director of Policy and Program at the Wisconsin Anti-Violence Effort. Appreciate your time, Nick, and enjoy the rest of the week.
Thanks, you too.
All right. The Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, live at the RNC. We'll be back tomorrow. More business owners, more analysis, and more breaking news even coming from all the people we're talking to in and around downtown Milwaukee. I'm Jeff Sherman. Wisconsin's Midday News with Jessica Ty and Greg Matzik is coming up next.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. Sponsored by the original Knowledge